Welcome to ANAMAR's educational and fun video series. In one of our past videos, we had Paul discussing the importance of dredge sediment models and how they're used to make sure that the material that is destined for offshore placement does not have a negative impact in the environment. Today, I would like to discuss a less esoteric subject, but a very important subject nevertheless. What is one of the most practical benefits that everyone enjoys when we all have our oceans clean and safe? We enjoy its bounty. Anybody that knows us here at ANAMAR knows that we all love to eat very much. So one of the things we wanted to do for fun with you was to share one of our favorite recipes, and that is the recipe for ceviche. Ceviche is an old traditional dish that probably dates back to South American times, depending on who you ask. But the Incas were known for preserving their fish with fruit, juice, salt, and chilies. And then, legend has it, then the Spanish conquistadors came around and added the lime to it. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what we hear. What is important to know is that the most critical thing for making a good ceviche is that you have all fresh ingredients. The citric acid in the lime juice does alter the structure of the protein of the fish, but it does not fully cook the fish. So it's very important to know that even though you're using lime juice, that you should use the same precautions that you would if you are making sushi. Again, the most important thing is fresh ingredients, and you start with fresh fish. It's important to know where the fish came from, so have a good fish source. And in this case, wow, thank you, Jason. I don't get a better fish source than from our fishery specialist who just fillet a fresh, what did you do, a snapper?
Tilefish.
It's a fish. So I have here some tilefish and some quid snapper. The most important thing, besides it being fresh, is that your fish is a white, firm fish. Stay away from your oily fish. Your oily fish would actually turn opaque and just not give you what you're looking for in a finalized product. Your white meat fish is going to be your best ingredient. So we're going to start with the very fresh fish that Jason just filleted for us. And he has put it in ice to keep it even fresher. We are going to be adding lime juice to our fish. Another trick is to make sure that you have enough marinade to cover all of your fish and all of your other ingredients. Depending on what recipe you're using, a lot of people claim that you should just pickle your fish first and that then you should add the vegetables at the end. Personally, I like to add my key ingredients, my key vegetables, the onions and the peppers, at this stage of the game because I think they help flavor the marinade. They will not have as crisp a color as they stay longer in the marinade, let's say longer than 20 minutes or maybe even an hour, but they will really add to the flavor. So I will go ahead and add about, I would say, a couple of teaspoons by the amount of fish we used. It really is a matter of taste, how much onion or how much peppers you add. So you'll see me here not measuring anything, and that is because you need to try your own and see what you prefer. For peppers, I like to have a combination of poblanos, jalapenos, a little bit more hotter pepper, maybe a banana pepper, because I think the flavors of the peppers, as long as you take the seeds out, really add a lot to your ceviche. So I'm going to add a little bit of peppers to the ceviche. Oops, we have an escape here. How much heat you want in your ceviche is also a matter of taste. Some people really like their food hot. Some people prefer not to have as hot food. So basically, again, you have to do a lot of trial and error. We will add a little bit of hot sauce to our ceviche. I am a little bit of a wimp, so I don't use a lot of hot sauce. Again, up to your taste. And if you are one of those people who prefer not to use a lot of hot sauce, then one of the tricks to make a delicious ceviche is to add some fresh squeezed either tangerine or orange juice. Personally, I prefer tangerine juice. I think it gives us a very good flavor. It also keeps the acidity in the mixture for the marinade. Once you have your marinade, you want to add a few more spices. Salt and pepper are, of course, very important. So we'll have a couple of pinches of salt, a couple of pinches of pepper, and then my favorite, some fresh ground cumin. I like to grind some of my spices, so we'll have some fresh ground cumin here. We'll mix it up. Again, you leave it for about 20 minutes to an hour, and it is ready to go. I like to finish it off with a little bit of cilantro, but I don't put the cilantro during the marinade stage just because it does tend to get very wilted. Now, if this was the cooking channel, we would have actually one of these already prepared that had been marinated, but this is not a cooking channel, so I'm gonna have to ask you to use your imagination and say that this has already been marinating. This is a way you would serve it. You could put it in a nice piece of glass, a martini glass, or a champagne glass, or a margarita glass. They're all absolutely perfectly acceptable. It's always nice to add some juice. It's usually referred to as tiger juice, and a lot of people like to eat it by crushing some crackers and putting saltines in their ceviche. So you can end up with a very festive looking dish, which is then topped with a little bit of fresh cilantro. Enjoy!